in the Mindanao Bus Company case, yung transportation company case I was referring to a while ago, sabi ng Supreme Court doon, the industry is not carried on in this building where the repair shop is located. The transportation business is carried on outside, not here. So that was another reason why the court said the equipment, the repair equipment there, should not be considered as immobilized, but remain personal property. Can the parties agree that a certain machinery which has been installed by the owner of the tenement for an industry or works which will be carried on in that building and which tend to meet directly the needs of those industry works, can the owner of that machinery and a creditor agree to treat this machinery as personal property, subject them to a chattel mortgage? Is that allowable? The answer is yes. In other words, again, the principle of estoppel would apply. Although the machinery inside the building were installed by the owner and they tend to meet directly the needs of an industry or works which can be carried on in that building, if the parties agree to treat the machinery as chattel and enter into a chattel mortgage, neither of them will be permitted to question the validity of the chattel mortgage later on the ground that the subject was actually real property. Next point. In number 6 of Article 415, the law deals with animal houses, pigeon houses, fish ponds, and other breeding places of a similar nature, in case their owner has placed them or preserves them with the intention to have them permanently attached to the land. The animals in these places are included. So, if there is a pigeon house permanently attached to the land, the pigeons in that pigeon house are also considered real property. Okay? Of course, pigeons sometimes fly around. Or in the case of fish ponds, if you happen to have bangus, in the fish pond, the bangus are also considered as real property, immovable, even if they are swimming around. Okay? For purposes of sale, however, this should be considered as movable property. So if you enter into a contract of, in the contract of sale of the bangus in your fish pond, that's not a sale of real property. That should be considered, of course, obviously as a sale of personal property. Okay? Or if you donate the bangus to a certain individual, that should not be considered a donation of real property, but a donation of personal property. Of course, if you consider it a donation of real property, you would even need to execute a public document. both for the donation and the acceptance. All right. Fertilizers actually used on a piece of land. What about insecticides? Same rule should apply. Okay? And then you have mines, quarries, slug dumps. Well, the matter thereof forms part of the bed, and waters either running or stagnant. The waters referred to here are yung natural waters. Okay? So if you have several drums of water which you keep in your yard, because in some areas water is getting a bit scarce, the waters in those drums which you had earlier collected cannot be considered as covered by number 8 of Article 415. Okay? Ang mga waters dito either running or stagnant. Sinasabi dyan yung mga waters in rivers, for example, in lakes, or in lagoons. Yan, natural waters. Number 9, docks and structures which, although floating, are intended by their nature and object to remain at a fixed place on a river, lake, or port. A question has already been asked regarding this. There was a barge which was at a fixed place. Basta nasa fixed place, consider it as real property, even if it's floating. For example, Napocor and some other private companies have these power barges, which supply electricity to certain island provinces. Okay? So itong power barges na ito, they are usually docked along the shore or along a port, and they remain there for a considerable period of time. They are considered as real property. Okay? Yung floating restaurant yan sa may reclamation area, it's floating but it remains at a fixed place. That should be considered as real property. Okay. But of course, if it's actually a boat which take on passengers and then go on a cruise of Manila Bay, and while cruising around Manila Bay, dinner reserve, I don't think you can consider that as real. That will be movable property. Okay? All right. And then lastly, you have contracts for public works and servitudes and other real rights over real property. Okay. So, please remember the enumeration of real property under Article 415. Then you take a look at what are in turn considered as movable property under Article 416 and 417 of the Civil Code. I just want to call your attention. Certain real property are, by special provision of law, also considered as movable property. Very good example would be growing crops. Growing crops. Okay? Growing crops are considered under certain provisions of law as movable property under the chattel mortgage law, okay, as well as under the Civil Code provisions on sales. They are considered personal property. Okay. Sabi nga in the case of growing crops, while they are still there, growing on the soil, sabi ng, I think, what's the Supreme Court which said in Sibal versus Valdez, it's a mobilization by anticipation. Okay? In other words, the law already anticipates they're subsequently becoming movable. When would that happen? When they're actually gathered. So even before they are gathered, there is mobilization by anticipation. That's why they can be the subject of a chattel mortgage. All right. Forces of nature, which are brought under control by science, nuclear power, wind power, electricity. Okay, these are considered movable property. Shares of stock in any corporation. As long as you're talking about shares of stock, these are considered personal property, regardless of the fact that the corporations in which the shares are held has real property, or even if all of the assets of the corporation consists of real property, the shares of stock in that corporation would always be considered as personal property. Okay. The next important classification, of course, is the classification between property of public dominion and property of private ownership. So, remember Article 420. What are considered property of public dominion? Those intended for public use. Then those intended for public service or for the development of national wealth. Property intended for public use. Roads, streets, okay, parks. A property is considered, according to the court, for public use within the meaning of the Civil Code if it is open indiscriminately to the public. In other words, anyone can go there and use it. Like our streets. Anyone can use our streets. It's open indiscriminately to everyone. That's property for public use. Property of public dominion are subject to certain special rules. That's another important thing we have to remember in connection with these properties. They cannot be made the subject matter of contracts. They cannot be sold, they cannot be leased, or otherwise made the subject of contracts. They cannot be acquired by prescription. Okay? They cannot be attached and sold at public auction to satisfy any judgment. They cannot even be burdened with an easement. They cannot even be, you cannot even register them. You cannot have them titled in your name under the torrent system.